If you follow this video to the end, you could be the pioneer in your family to achieve wealth, as I will share essential teaching. Let me ask you, do you really want to be successful in life? Just like learning new languages, a musical instrument, or mathematics, it is possible to learn to achieve success. Learning to be successful is different from just being successful. Being successful goes further. It is something complete. For example, a rock star may have great success in his music career, but his personal life may be total chaos. Although he is successful on stage, that does not make him successful in life. To be truly successful, you need to develop several areas: personal, professional, financial, family, social, and friendships. This is the crucial difference between succeeding and being successful. What are you really looking for? Success in a specific area or a full and successful life? Leave your comment. And if you really want to achieve complete success, watch this video until the end, as I will share valuable tips. Let's get back to our analysis. You may be thinking that, to be successful, you would need to be born with a silver spoon. But that is not true. In reality, many successful people had challenging childhood. In Australia, 85% of people who consider themselves successful came from humble families, worked for others, and faced difficulty. This means that you are not destined to remain as you have always been. Your past is past and cannot be changed. However, your future is still blank, waiting to be written. You can start writing it today. Understanding this can transform your life, simply by understanding this new perspective on the future. We humans are the only animals on Earth with the ability to transcend. This means having the chance to start over. It doesn't matter where you were born, how you were raised as a child, or what you've done to date. Tomorrow you can open a new chapter in your life, start again. This is transcending. However, to achieve this, we need to make some changes first. We all, including you and me, know what we are talking about. Set of beliefs. Our way of operating is based on our beliefs, which are often unfavorable and do not bring us the desired results. A belief becomes obsolete when it stops providing us with what we want, which is to evolve. Let's therefore eliminate these obsolete beliefs that are not bringing us the desirable results. We don't need to reinvent the wheel, but rather make it spin faster. Someone has studied this before, researched millionaires and successful people, not only financially, also in family, health, and other areas. This person was able to identify the unusual habits of these successful people. Do you want to walk towards success? I want to know where you're coming from. If you don't have a clear idea of where you're starting from, it will be practically impossible to achieve the success you want. Therefore, the first thing we need to assess is your level of self-esteem. I'm going to do a questionnaire here. Let's look at 5 areas of your life: health, family, finances, professional life, and friendships. For each of these areas, you will give a rating from 1 to 10. We will then add these ratings together to better understand your situation. Let's start with health. We know 30-year-old people who never get sick, right? And you probably know people who are constantly sick. Assess your health. If you are the type of person who never gets sick and is always well, give it a score of 10. As this indicates that you are completely healthy. If you are sick every day, give a rating of 1. Then between 1 and 10, choose the rating that best reflects your health. What would be your assessment? If you have addictions, smoke, drink, or use illicit drugs, this will obviously reduce your grade. Ask your unconscious and determine the score for your health. Now let's evaluate your family. I am referring to the family nucleus. Parents, children, brothers, brothers-in-law, your entire family. From 1 to 10, what grade would you give? You have an ideal, perfect family with nothing to change, and it's a 10. First, you gave a rating for your health. Now, give your family a note. Next, let's move on to your financial life. How is your bank account? If you lost your job today, you stopped working today, you faced an unforeseen event now, how long would you be able to maintain your current lifestyle? This is called an emergency reserve fund. It is the number of days you can maintain your standard of living if your income is interrupted. You stop working today, have you accumulated enough for your money to work for you? Money is an excellent employee, but a terrible boss. If you work for money, I'm sorry. But if, on the other hand, you put money to work for you, everything will be fine, because that's what money does well. So how is your financial life? Are you the type of person who can afford not to work for a while? Let's say that today you decide to stop working. Will the money you have saved or invested yield enough to maintain your standard of living? What grade do you deserve? If you are in debt, spending more than you earn, or if you earn and spend everything immediately, your score will be close to 1. It's not me, it's you who chooses this note, in the same way you chose the note for your health and your family. Now, you are choosing for your financial life. Let's move on to your work, your professional life. Let me ask you a simple question. If you won $1 million in the lottery tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, would you continue doing the same thing professionally, or would you change? If, after earning $1 million, you continue to do exactly the same, it means that you are completely in tune with your professional activity, and you deserve a 10. Now, if you are counting the days until retirement, it means that you are not satisfied with what he does and deserves a rating close to 1 or 2. We evaluate your health, your family, your finances, and your work. Now let's move on to the last area, your friendships. I'm not talking about acquaintances, but friends you can trust. Who can you count on today? Who do you know will be by your side? If you died today, who would attend your funeral tomorrow? This is a good question to evaluate who is really close to you. In terms of friendship, we have 2 things to consider: the quantity of friends and the quality of these friendships. Sometimes it is much more important to have fewer but better quality friends. What would your grade be? Now you've already rated your health, family, finances, professional life, and your friendships. Add these 5 notes together, please. I will use an example to illustrate. Suppose I gave a score of 7 to all 5 areas of my life. Adding 7 5 times, the result is 35. I multiply this number by 2, resulting in 70. This means that I am operating at 70% of my self-esteem potential. Do this too and see what happens. Take these 5 notes, add them up, and multiply by 2. Now you know where you're coming from. If I'm starting from 70%, that means I'm using 70% of my soul's potential. If I increase this potential to 72 or 73, the difference in results will be huge. Small improvements in performance can bring significant results. An example of this is a horse that comes first in a race. Compared to the horse that comes in second, the difference could be just a nose. It's a small difference, but the first horse's nose crossed the finish line just before the second. But think about it. The first one will always be remembered, will win the prize, and receive lots of praise. And the second, even with a minimal difference, will not be remembered. This shows that small differences in performance can result in big differences in results. So learn that a small difference in performance can bring extraordinary results. Compare a poor, failed individual with a successful, millionaire individual. Both get up at more or less the same time, go to sleep at more or less the same time. Apparently, there is not much difference between them. But what does one of them do differently? These are small details done constantly, strategically. That makes all the difference. Let's say you discovered that you are operating with 60% of your self-esteem. Then you ask me, Dr. Eaton, how can I improve? Here's a crucial point. I'm going to show you 3 things you need to do. The first is to develop visualization skills. Not what you don't want, but what you do want. If you focus on what you don't want instead of what you want, it's like driving a car while looking in the rear view mirror. You know where you came from, but you don't know where you're going. Einstein said that imagination is more important than knowledge. In all disputes between knowledge and imagination has always prevailed. Therefore, you need to learn to imagine the desired situation. It must exist first in your mind. For example, if you dream of purchasing a new house, imagine how many rooms it will have, how it will be built, the color of the external and internal walls, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, the furniture, the carpets you will place. Build this new house mentally, with as much specificity and detail as possible. The more features you add, the easier it will be to materialize, as everything in the physical universe was created twice. Want to see? Look around you and choose any object you see, anyone, even the object that is in your hands right now, like your cell phone. Before it was created physically, it passed through someone's mind. Therefore, everything that exists in the physical universe first existed in someone's mind and then manifested itself physically. So you need to learn the visualization process, which is very simple. Just close your eyes and focus on what you want, whether it's health, family, professional, or the most important areas of your life. Visualizing is the first thing you need to do, but it doesn't stop there. Have you ever noticed that ever since you started talking, there has been a constant internal dialogue in your mind? You agree with some things, disagree with others, but there is always a conversation going on. There's a voice inside your head. And have you ever wondered what that voice is? Stop for a moment and pay attention to her. Is it a friendly or critical voice? Maybe your own voice or your parents' voice. But there is an internal dialogue that makes a huge difference in your life. What kind of dialogue do you have? When negative dialogue arises, say stop, stop, stop. Let me talk about something else, the way you carry your body, your posture. Go to a mall in your city and watch the people passing by. Some walk with their necks erect, looking at the horizon, while others walk with their heads down, looking at the ground. If you are in a room and a king, queen, prince, or princess enters, even if you don't know who they are, you will realize that these people have majesty. What does it mean to have majesty? They walk with an upright posture, learned since childhood, as if they were balancing a book on their head. When I stretch my body, imagining a hook from the sky pulling at my head, my neck lengthens, my shoulders relax, and I get in touch with universal intelligence. And do you know what happens? My self-esteem improves. So to improve your self-esteem, you need to know how to visualize, deal with internal dialogue, and cancel anything negative. This is a very serious problem. Have you ever stopped to think that we are imagining things all the time, whether they are positive or negative? If I say, think of a kangaroo, right now you're imagining a kangaroo. Now, if I say, don't think about a koala, even if I tell you not to think, you end up thinking. Do you know why this happens? Because the word no does not have a clear linguistic representation. For example, a teacher might say, don't make noise in the classroom. The teacher is speaking to the class, but some students continue to make noise because, to the subconscious mind, the instruction is focused on the unwanted action. What the teacher should do is focus on what they really want, which would be, instead of saying don't make noise, saying keep the room quiet. You need to express what you want, not what you don't want. This also applies to internal dialogue. Learn to control this, and this video will be worth it for you, bringing immense benefit in the long term. If you understand what I'm saying, comment, I understand. Now I'm going to teach you another very important lesson. We are judged in life by three things: how we look, what we say, and how we say what we say. If someone asks you a question, the way you answer makes all the difference. Imagine two cooks preparing dishes. I ask the first cook, what do you do for a living? And he replies, I'm a cook, I prepare meals. I ask the second cook and he says, I'm a chef, I create unique gastronomic experiences. Although they both do the same thing physically, one only sees work, while the other has a bigger perspective. This second cook won't just be a cook for a long time. Soon, he will own a restaurant. Furthermore, you are judged by your appearance. If you want to work at a technology company, don't show up to the interview dressed like you're going to the gym. Dress appropriately for the occasion. When teaching a successful class, I need to be well presented as the situation demands. You can watch it in shorts, it doesn't matter, but if I was giving this talk in a corporate environment, I couldn't be in shorts and flip-flops. Appearance is very important. You are judged by what you say. Until you speak, no one knows whether you are smart or not. The moment you speak, if you say something wrong, there is no going back. A released arrow does not return. A spoken word no longer belongs to you. It has been released into the world. If you're not sure what you're going to say, best to remain silent. Most wise men are respected for speaking little. And it's not just what you say, but how you say it. Two individuals can say the same thing, but the repercussion will be completely different. There is a phrase that says, the performance is more important than the script. Think of an actor you admire and a monologue that touches your heart. The same monologue, performed by someone you don't like, wouldn't have the same impact. Therefore, Know what you are going to say, how you are going to say it, and at the right time. Imagine that you are going to build a house. The house is not just made of bricks, cement, or wood. Of course, each material is important, but alone it is not enough. The building of success that we are learning has 6 pillars: self-esteem, communication, goals, attitude, work, and ambition. When you combine these 6 pillars with patience and persistence, characteristics of the professional that the amateur does not have, the result is success. The amateur wants everything yesterday, but nature doesn't work like that. Dawn only comes after the entire night has passed. You plant a seed, and the next day it is not a plant, remains a seed starting its germination process. It is necessary to understand that you are on the right path and give time for things to happen. Many people make the mistake, giving up before things happen. Patience and persistence are key. I want to talk to you now about goals. You have to learn how to turn a dream into a goal, and then turn a goal into reality. How to turn a dream into a goal. Adding a date. Everything you want someday won't happen. Think about that dusty project in your drawer that you said you would complete someday, and it's been 4 years. There is no someday on the calendar. For this to start happening, you need to have a date. Saying one day we will do this doesn't cut it. When you put a date, it makes all the difference. When you put a date on your dream, it stops being a dream and becomes a goal, and the universe begins to conspire in your favor. Turning your dream into a goal is one step. You need to turn it into reality. That's another story. The importance of the goal is not necessarily achieving it, but setting it in motion. More important things can happen along this path. Think about the 3 most important things that have happened in your life to date. Maybe your wedding, the birth of a child, promotion at work. Many of these events were unplanned. You didn't wake up one day saying, "Today I'm going to meet someone I'm going to marry." You just went somewhere, met the person, fell in love, and got married. The same goes for jobs. You don't wake up one day and decide to become an employee at a company. You see an ad, you are invited, you have an interview, you submit your CV, and you are approved. One day someone calls and says, "You start work tomorrow." Goals keep us moving, but we must be prepared for better things. Other opportunities may arise, and we need to be flexible. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Do you dedicate your entire life to being a parent? What will happen when your children grow up and leave home? This is empty nest syndrome. Diversity of goals is crucial. Have financial, professional, social, family, and health goals. What's the point of earning a lot of money and having a heart attack at age 40? We don't take anything to the grave. Coffins don't have drawers or pocket. Therefore, have leisure goals and diversify your goals. Remind yourself of your goals every day, not just on December 31st. The Orientals have a doll called Daruma. They paint an eye to represent a goal, like buying a house. Every time they look at the doll, they remember the goal. There are many Darumas in the Eastern rooms, some with both eyes painted, others with just one, because the goal needs to be remembered. Don't study medicine just because it's your parents' dream. Pursue goals that are yours, that you really want. The goals need to be yours, not someone else's. Everyone lives their own life. Be careful about the quality of your goals and the ones you want to achieve. I want to talk about attitude. Attitude in life makes a huge difference in the final result and depends on the paradigm you live. Imagine a fish that never left the water. He doesn't know he lives in water because he has never experienced what is not water. If you live in a paradigm and have never left it, you don't know you're in it. You may be limited. In the past, it was believed that the earth was flat and it was impossible to travel around the world. When the concept changed to the round earth, this trip became possible. The paradigm shift multiplies the possibilities. What is impossible for you today is impossible in the paradigm you live in. By changing the paradigm, this becomes possible. Taking a trip around the world on a flat earth is impossible. On a round earth, it is possible. What is impossible today in your life is based on the paradigm you live. Another important lesson. Stop worrying about what others think of you. What they think is not your problem. It is their problem. You can think whatever you want, just like them. If you need to satisfy everyone about what you do, you are not living your life, the lives of others. So, having a positive and optimistic attitude makes all the difference. For example, when you get involved in something, your thought should be that it will work out. If you start a project thinking it will fail, it won't succeed. Imagine a person who starts a business believing it will fail. She probably won't succeed. So when you start a project, put all your energy into it, as if it will guarantee success. The chance of success is much greater. I want to share an important message with you. Pay attention. Our problems are our best friends. You may not realize it, but a problem can revolutionize your life. If you lost your job, now you might have the chance to become an entrepreneur. You know? It's not what happens in your life that determines your future, but what you do with what happened. I have self-esteem, communication, attitude, ambition, goals, work, and mission. We work 24 hours a day, sleep 8 hours, and have 16 hours left. Much of that time will be spent working on something, right? If you work at something you don't like, you are wasting part of your life. Choose something that brings you satisfaction. Work on something you enjoy. People who work look for 3 things. They want self-fulfillment, good pay, and opportunities for growth. If you're at a low-paying company, you won't stay there long. If you're in a company that pays well, but doesn't provide you with fulfillment, you'll also get burnt out. And if you don't get promoted and receive encouragement, it's wise to look for something better. This is very important. Ideally, one day you will work for yourself. Or rather, you always work for yourself. A company may give you the phone number and salary at the end of the month, but when you improve, you are improving yourself. The day you leave the company, you will take this improvement with you. Napoleon Hill, when studying millionaires, discovered that 85% of them, before becoming millionaires, worked for someone. However, they worked with the following attitude. They acted as if the company were theirs. They tried harder, managed resources as if they were their own, and ran the company as if they owned it. When they opened their own businesses, they already knew what it was like to own a company. But what do most employees do? They think, I'm just an employee here. I'm not going to make any effort. When I have my own company, then I'll dedicate myself. But during the time they work as employees, they miss the opportunity to learn how to be business owners. So, you're always working for yourself, right? Only one thing is missing: ambition. You know what Kaizen is? In Japan, the word Kaizen means continuous improvement. Today better than yesterday, tomorrow better than today. By 1945, Hiroshima and Nagasaki were destroyed, with 40% of Japan in ruins. Today, Japan is among the top 5 countries in the world. You know what happened? From 40% destroyed to being among the 5 best countries in the world. Remember this philosophy called Kaizen, always improve. Continuous improvement. When you say you don't want anything else in life, I say it's time to die. Because we are here to learn. Or rather, when you die, when you transcend, when you change your cosmic address, when you get to the other side, you will be asked 3 questions. First question is, what did you learn there? This life is a school. We are here to learn. The second question is, how was your time on planet Earth? Have you made the world a better place for those who come after you? And last but not least, they will ask, did you cost more than you contributed? Or, did you contribute more than it cost? I recommend that when you put your head on the pillow to sleep at night, you ask yourself this question. Did I cost more than I contributed? Or did I contribute more than I cost today? And this today adds up, day after day, right? This is important to consider. I want to make it very clear that life is a sequence of hello and see you later. To say the next hello, you need to say, see you later. You won't remember the biggest hello of your life, but it was when you arrived on planet Earth. You arrived crying, while everyone who was here to welcome you was smiling. I hope that when you die, when you transcend and change your cosmic address, exactly the opposite happen. May you leave smiling because you fulfilled your mission here. And whoever stays here will cry because you are leaving. You need to learn to work with these 6 ingredients. Self-esteem, communication, goals, work, attitude, and ambition. As I said, what distinguishes the professional from the amateur is patience and persistence. I don't need to worry about my weaknesses, but rather focus on my strengths. These strengths will make the weaknesses disappear. That's the big takeaway. So if you are not prepared, nothing will help. If I offer you $20,000 a month to be a tour guide in Australia and you don't speak English, it's no use. When you are prepared and the opportunity appears, because it will, often in the form of a challenge, you will be ready to seize it. People call it luck. Luck is nothing more than the opportunity arriving and you being prepared to take advantage of it. In other words, your luck is built by you. The person who remains adrift, waiting for something to happen, will not see anything happen. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the like button so you don't miss out on other content that will help you thrive financially. Your support is crucial for encouraging me to keep producing more. Thank you very much.